This is day number 34 of learning piano 34. I'm so excited. I know this might sound crazy to you who do not know piano, but yesterday I met up with my piano teacher for the second time. Okay, we only have 30-minute sessions together, very short, but I learned about dotted quarter notes. Now I know that might sound super crazy, that I'm so excited about it, but I'm super excited about it because now I can understand so much. I can see so much in here, and I'm like, oh, it makes sense. Like, I'm looking at books, I'm looking at other things, and I'm like, oh my, like I finally understand. So it's a lot of fun. And so I'm just gonna be, practicing that. I'm gonna be practicing that for a bit. Hey, what's up, that tech guy? How's it going? So I'm just super, super ecstatic, like I said, because my teacher taught me about dotted quarter notes, and I was so confused. I was like, what is the dot next to a quarter note? And apparently it means like a quarter note plus a half count. So it's like 3/8. So 1 and 2 and. And so that's where I was all tripped up and confused on. So I'm super excited. Hopefully I can play some songs today that practice that quarter note, and we'll see what happens. But at the beginning though, like usual, I just need to do some, warm-up practice, make sure my hands are all warmed up. Before I did a lot of warm-up, a couple weeks ago, I would just jump into banging the piano keys. My hands hurt a lot, and so now I'm trying to take care of my hands more. I know it sounds kind of pathetic. I'm only 32 years old. It's not like, I have serious issues with, arthritis or anything, but I need to prepare. I need to make sure that I do preventative medicine, right? I need to warm up my hands. I need to strengthen my muscles. And so that's what I'm going to be doing for now. And then I'll jump into some songs here in just a couple minutes, okay? So, but it's good having you guys here today. Let's see here. So let's try that. Just doing some warm up. What's up? How's it going? Cedric Culveros. I apologize if I said your name wrong. It's good seeing you. I've noticed you commented in some of the YouTube shorts, so it's super cool seeing you here. Just doing some warm ups at the beginning, and then I'll probably jump into a song or two here in a little bit. But I'm just super excited. Yesterday, I had my second meeting with my piano teacher, and I know it seems so small to most people. I learned something called the dotted quarter note, and I just got so excited because I finally understand what that dot means in the book. And I know that might seem super weird for most people, but man, I'm just having so much fun, and I'm super thankful. Even a 30-minute session with a teacher was super helpful to be able to figure out some of the notes and dots in sheet music. So I'm really happy and really excited. So I'm gonna do just a little bit more warm up, and then I'll jump into some songs, okay? So let's see here. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. If you don't mind me asking, where are you from? I'm from Pennsylvania in the United States. So I'm up in the Northeast United States right now. So thanks for asking. Let's do another warm up here. And then, okay, is that an F? No, that's a C. So I got to do. Okay, so I got to jump way down. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so we got to start here. So 3 at E, and then that's a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1 and 1 and 2 and 3. No, that's not it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I know it might sound, kind of weird for me to practice 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but my beat, I am so bad at just getting the beats down. What do you call this? I don't even know. I think you would call it a beat or the tune, the proper cadence. I think that's what they call it, the cadence, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm always, if I don't have that cadence in my head, then I just go way too fast or way too slow and I confuse myself. So. But yeah, hey, I know a number of you are, subscribers, you check out our daily YouTube shorts, but feel free, if you're new here, feel free to check out our daily YouTube shorts where I'm just showing my daily piano progress up until this point. I've been learning piano for 34 straight days now, and I'm just loving it. I'm having so much fun. And I love piano. I don't think I'll ever stop unless my hands break. So I'm just having a blast. So it's good seeing you guys. Let's see here. So. Let's do this. So let me try that one more time. 3 and 1. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 2. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 Okay, let's see here. Maybe just one more little warm-up thing, and then I'll jump off onto some of the songs I have that I'm going to be working on. So let's see here. So let's do this. That on 5, so that's a C on 5, right? Okay, so 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then I gotta go. Oop. Okay, so let's try that one more time. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, I'm kind of bored of this little warm-up book, but I'm gonna jump into some songs. Like I was saying, I met up with my piano teacher for the second time ever yesterday. It's only 30-minute sessions, but I feel like I just learned so many helpful small things that kind of bother me. Being a self-teacher is really, really, really tough. And so, because I can do it. I love it. I love learning languages, as I've mentioned in the past. And so I teach myself languages, but there's always a gap in your education if you don't have somebody to show you the way. So you can get far in something, but I feel like especially as I want to progress further and further in piano, I need somebody to guide me, to teach me, to show me the way, to show me where I'm making problems and to show me my problems, show me where I'm doing mistakes and stuff. So I had a great time yesterday, and my teacher showed me the dotted quarter note, which I know that sounds crazy, but it almost revolutionized my understanding of simple text, because I was like, apparently a dot on the right-hand side of a note in piano means you take that first note and then you have it and then you add them together. And so I don't know, I just thought that was amazing, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. No, this is not my first live session. I started, I think, a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago. This is maybe my 5th or 6th live session. So you can check it out. Generally, at least where I'm at in the mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern time over in the United States, I generally just practice piano most mornings, so you can come check it out. But I'm going to try this song called Kumbaya that I've heard, and it's going to help me to practice a quarter note. Or like I was saying, what do you call it? The dotted quarter note. So it's a 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. So I'm going to practice that and yeah, make some mistakes, but that's how you learn, right? So let's see how it goes. Slowly. So 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, and then that needs to be, that's a G. So why? Okay, so I need to move my hand. So that's a middle C and then an E. Okay, that's what they want. Middle C, E, and then G4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and... and then that's a dotted quarter note. So that's exactly what I wanted to practice, a dotted quarter note up here. So it's, so it goes dun, 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 dotted quarter note right there. So that's what I need to get working on here. So let's see. And I'm only I can get the left hand later, but I'm gonna really focus on the right hand right now. So let's see here. 1 and 2 and 3 and, okay. So that's a dotted quarter note, 1 and 2 and, okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and, okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so this must be a, okay, let's see. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. This might take a little bit of practice for me to get down because I'm trying to get the cadence down for this. And so it's a C, a middle C for those of you who know piano, a middle C and then an E and then a G. And then I have to hold that for 1.5 counts because what do they say right here? A dotted quarter note is 1.5 counts. So 1 count plus half count, 1.5 count. So it's a 1 and 2 and then I need to release my fingers. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then is this, so that's a 1 and so that's 2 and that's 2. So this is a 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and okay, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and okay, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. No, 4 and okay. Whew. Slowly, hey, working my way through this. Hey, what's up, you guys? How's it going? It's good seeing you all. I am doing daily piano progress. Every single day I'm just working on piano. At the age of 32, I've never played an instrument in my life, and I'm having so much fun. If you want to see my daily piano progress, check out my YouTube shorts. You can literally see what I'm working on that very day. I'm having a blast. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to learn piano. I've been teaching myself, but I've had 2 sessions now with an actual teacher, which has been really helpful. They're only like half an hour sessions, but they've been super, super helpful. And so, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. So, Cedric, oh man, I have to go now. Okay, yeah, definitely. Check me out tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? We have a number of people who are showing up daily to check out my live piano practice, which is a lot of fun. So I thank you guys for your encouragement. And yeah, it's a blast. So let's see here. So I'm just going to keep, practicing. And yeah. 1 and 2 and, okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and, okay. 1 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and, oh, and then up 1. Okay, there, okay, so that's what I did wrong last time. Let's see. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and, no, that's okay, that's a G. I did an F, okay. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3 and 4 and, okay. Okay, the first line with the right hand, look, it's nothing impressive, but I'm having fun. And this is how you learn. You got to go through lots of mistakes to be able to progress in anything in life. I mean, tying your shoes, brushing your teeth, cutting your hair. I don't know, whatever it is, like running, whatever it is, you need to, learning a language, like you make mistakes. Yeah, Chris, I'm day number 34 of learning piano. I'm 32 years old. I've never played an instrument in my life until, 34 practice days ago. So, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun, and this is literally my beginner piano experiment. I love it so much. I've never played an instrument, and I think this instrument, this technology, this piano is so beautiful, so wonderful. I just want to play it the rest of my life, so we'll see what happens. But and I'm kind of crazy. After only like a couple days of playing piano, I promised my wife that I would play her a concert on our 10th wedding anniversary. So I'm a little crazy. That's 5 years from now, though. And so I think I have a lot of time. So I better be able to play piano in 5 years, or else I'm in big, big trouble. So, no, but no, obviously it's going to be fun. So, hey, what's up, Jan? Peter, what's up? How's it going? I say hi back. Hello, hello, hello. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more daily piano progress. And you can check out all of our shorts, okay? And let's see here. So I'm going to just keep practicing the song called Kumbaya. 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 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 and 3 and 4 and then I got to go back, okay, down a line now. So let's go back to that. So that's a G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. No, that's 3. What is this? Hold up. That's an F? Oh, an F. Okay. Okay, so you go down from a G to an F. Okay. G. So, okay. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, this is so much better. Yesterday, my piano teacher is like, look, you're really struggling with getting the beat down or the cadence. So just say to yourself 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that will give you some good like rhythm and some focus. And so that's what I've been doing all day. And it's actually really, really helpful. And so I'm super happy. let's see here. 1 and 2 and 1 and, okay. Actually I want to start at 3 and 4. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3, 4 and 1 and, no, I gotta go to G again. Okay. So that's 1, that's an F, I gotta do my G. 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, all right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and now I gotta go down to a F. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, okay. So they want me to shift my hand, and so this is the one thing that is uncomfortable as a beginner, is of course you can, as an advanced, as an expert, you can literally put your hands anywhere on the piano you want. And you're supposed to, right? You need to figure out the best ways, the best finger placement, the best hand placement. But as a beginner who doesn't have somebody to daily tell him where to put his hands, all I have is a book up here telling me, put your number 4 finger on the G note. And so it's not as easy to be able to do that all by myself. So personally, that's why I really appreciated the session I had with my teacher yesterday, because she helped me to realize like where to put my hand. She's like, no, you should put your hand right here or right here. And that was really helpful. So, okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then I got to get my hand down to a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then up to it. Okay. And 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Boom. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and no. Okay, so that's an F. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then rest, and then I got to go down to D again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and then I go back to the beginning. So that alone was just the right hand. So obviously there's a lot of issues just with my right hand. I haven't even started adding in the chords on the left hand yet, but you just got to do one hand at a time. I mean, if I try and do 2 at once, I get too, confused, and my brain and my hands just don't work together. And so there's some like crazy brain hand connection that expert piano players must have that I don't. So I just need to work up that, connection between my hands and my brain to be able to get this, because it's really hard to be able to, use your muscles in conjunction with your brain and your eyesight. You're reading sheet music, and then you're intuiting with your brain what that means, and then it's supposed to send shock waves down to your hands, and then your hands are supposed to go places, and it's really tough as a beginner, but it's a lot of fun. So let's see here. Play River Flows in You. I let me write that down. I don't know if I have that song on me, and I don't even know if I know what that song is, especially as a beginner, but let me see if I can write down. I'm gonna get a little piece of paper. There's a ton of songs that I want to play, but it's just gonna take me a while to practice them. But you said, play River Flows in You. River Flows in You. And thank you so much for that suggestion for the song. Like, please give me as many easy piano songs suggestions as you think would be able to help me, because I need more. And I want more songs that I would enjoy. You know, there's a lot of easy songs out there, but not a lot of them are pleasant to play. And so please feel free to send me more suggestions. Thank you so much for that. So let's see here. So I'm going to try and go all through the song again, just with my right hand, okay? So let's try this. 1 and 3 and 4, no, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then I got to get the 3. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so they want that with the middle, the F with the middle finger. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and now my middle, they want my middle to go down to, so 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, and then I got to go back down to E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rest and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and so this is really what I'm trying to get down today, because there's lots of these quarter notes. Hey, have a good one, right, siblings, happiness. I'm trying to get down the dotted quarter note. I'm trying to get this down. I just learned this yesterday, like I said. And so it's really important that what I learned yesterday, I can get down. And like, I had no idea. So my piano teacher was like, hey, you need to play this as a 1.5 count. And I'm like, what is a 1.5 count? I was so confused. And then finally I realized that a dotted quarter note was literally one note. And then you essentially like half the note and then add the one note to the half note. So it's just a 1.5 note. I know it probably to you experts, it seems so simple, but to a beginner, as an adult beginner of piano, I'm just like, what is a dotted quarter note? And I found out yesterday finally, and I'm super happy about it. So, now I can play a whole lot more because I actually know what a dotted quarter note means. So, Okay, so I'm just gonna go through this song again with my right hand, and then I think I might start trying to add in my left hand. Left hand and right hand are so difficult in piano to do together as a beginner. I mean, this is day number 34, as I told you. I've never played an instrument in my life, and so trying to do two hands together is really tough. So my methodology is start with the right hand, try to get the right hand down, and then go to the left hand and see if the left hand you can get that down, and then try and put them together at the end. Because if I try and do left and right all together, it's just way too difficult for me as a beginner. I'm just like, what is going on? So awesome. Hey, I appreciate it, the Shy Guy. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. So let's see here. I'm gonna restart. So 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 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 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 and hold up. Oh, that's where I messed up there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. No, I have to jump. Yeah. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... Whew, these dotted quarter notes are getting to me. They're really tough. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Sand, and then, yeah, having a lot of fun. This is day number 34 of learning piano. So what I'm trying to do is, it's a song called Kumbaya. Apparently it's a African folk hymn, and it's just, it's a simple song. I need simple music, right? Because I'm a beginner. But it's really, the reason I chose this song out of this little book that I have here, it's called Kumbaya, as mentioned, is because yesterday I learned the dotted quarter note, and this has a number of dotted quarter notes in it. So I'm trying to practice and get the quarter notes, the dotted quarter notes down, and then the eighth note. And I mean, it says, some of you obviously are probably piano experts, and others of you, even as the Shy Guy said, I don't understand anything. So maybe some of you are just kind of like me, who you don't really know piano. A quarter note, an eighth note, a full note, a half note, these notes are essentially how long you hold down your fingers for on the piano. So like a whole note would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then a half note would be 1 and 2 and then of course a quarter, you just cut that in half, a 1 and then you have an eighth note, and then you have, you have all this stuff, a quarter note, half note, eighth note, 16th note, so many notes in piano. And that's why a lot of people, when they learn piano, they don't even want to read sheet music because it takes so long to learn. But I love learning languages, and I almost feel like piano sheet music is like a language, symbolize or represent other things. And so that's why for me, learning sheet music is actually a lot easier for me generally than learning how to play an instrument, since I've never done one before. But I'm having fun nonetheless, and I'm just gonna keep going through this, and I think I might add my left hand here in just 1 second to see if I can get down. I think they call that a harmony. When you get the right hand and the left hand together, it creates a harmony. I think that's what they call it in piano. So 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and how did I mess that up? Okay, hold up. That's a G and I'm pressing the F. Why am I doing that? Okay, so I need to go back to the G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Oh, that's why I was skipping 2 down. Okay, so I messed up because I was skipping 2 down rather than just 1 down. Hey, what's up? How's it going, everybody? For those of you who are coming in and going out, this is day number 34 of learning piano. I'm having a lot of fun. If you want to see my daily piano progress, feel free to check out my YouTube shorts where you can literally see what I'm practicing that day. It's a lot of fun. And generally around this time in the morning, at least where I live, I do piano practice live. So I'm glad you guys are here with me. So, so let's see here. So I got to go back down to this. So that's since that's a G, 1 and 2 and, all right. So let's start back here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay. 1, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, there we are. So I just went through the whole song there. What book do you use? Honestly, so for teaching myself, there's a really popular song here called Adult All-in-One. I think it's Alfred's, what do they call it? Alfred's Basic Adult Piano Course. So this is the book. Apparently, I mean, I looked it up. So the reason I kind of partially got into this and I have all these resources is because my mother-in-law, she's been playing piano for like 40 plus years. And she doesn't teach me, but she's given me some things. I haven't really asked her to teach me except for just show me a couple things. I kind of teach myself with this book when I have time. But apparently this is a really well-respected book. If you want to check it out on Amazon, I didn't have to pay for it just because I got it from my mother-in-law, but she recommended this. She actually gave me this book. This was the book that all of her children learned piano from as well. And it's called Alfred's Basic Adult Piano Book. It's adult all-in-one course. So it's really helpful. I like it. So you could just go through. It'll literally teach you every single note simply. I mean, in this one, I'm on page 80. But, I mean, you can go at a slow pace. You can go at a fast pace. I think that's super helpful. And then honestly, she's also given me, she's so kind. She just look how old school this book is. I mean, it's so old. Like I said, she's been playing piano for 40 or 50 years. So this book is so old that it doesn't even have like color on the back of it, which is kind of funny. But this is a nice like warm-up exercise book, but there's gotta be better exercise books nowadays out because this thing is so old. And then also this thing right here, she just gave me like some simple like, holiday tunes, hymns, songs and stuff, like classic, music and stuff. And so that's kind of what I'm working on right now. But I would say the main book, like if you're a beginner like me, then I would definitely recommend this book because it's super helpful and really clear. So, okay, so I'm going to try this song Kumbaya. I'm going to start with my left hand now, okay? So, let's see here. So I'm going to try my left hand out. And I got to see where it starts. So 1, 3, 5. What do they call that? A G chord? I don't even remember. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then I got to go 1, 2, 5. So 1, 2, 5. That has to be an A, right? That's 1, 2. So that's still a C. And then if that's a C, that's an F. So that's an F and an A. So you want me to go dun, 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 dun. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. No. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and rest. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and rest. And then I got to go to, what is that? 1, 2, 5. So that's F, G. So B, F, G. What is that? A B, F, G. I don't even know. That sounds weird. Okay, what is that? I forgot what chord that's called. It's got to be, so this is what I do. If I have an issue with my song, like in the song, then I open up this book and I do research. So I'm going to look up what this is really quick. So let's see here. So I'll just literally like graze through this book really quick and check it out. 1, 2, 5. Okay, so for instance, right here, like this is super helpful. That's an F, 1, 2, 5. I have to play that in this song. So that's an F major, they call it, for the left hand. So that's helpful. And then I also need to figure out the other. I think it's G, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What is it? Where is that? F major. F major. Is there another chord? I feel like I gotta find another chord in here really quick. So we got, okay, maybe that's it. Hold up. 1, 2, 5. Maybe it's a G7 chord? No, that's too low for that. That's on the right hand. Maybe it's a G7 for the left hand. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. See, I just found it. That's super helpful. So using this book, if you're reading sheet music and you don't know what something is, you can literally just crack this thing open and look it up. So it's called a G7. So I need to put my hand over here, and then I got a B. So I got to put my hand on B. Whoa, that is really far, actually. So I got to stretch my hand out a little because that's a C, that's a B. And then that's a F and G, F and G. The G7, that's a G7 chord right there, okay? So that's what I'm working on right here. So that's super helpful. So that's called a G7 chord. So now I'm gonna go through the song again. So let's see here. Left hand only, and then I'll implement the right hand here in a little bit. But 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and rest. rest and rest and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and rest and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and rest 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 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 2. Okay, so the left hand's not too bad. There's a couple chords that I'm working on. Hey, what's up? For those of you who are coming in and going out, this is day number 34 of learning piano. Never played an instrument in my life until 34 days ago. It's so much fun. I'm just going to keep going forever unless my hands break. I'm having a blast. If you want to see my daily piano progress, check out my YouTube shorts. You can see literally everything I'm working on that day, and feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more. And generally, my YouTube live sessions I do about this time, at least where I'm at in the morning. So feel free to check it out if you want. But it's good having you guys here, and thank you for the encouragement. So 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and rest 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and rest and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and rest and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 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 and 2 and rest. Okay, so that's the left hand. I already did a lot of practice with the right hand, so I'm going to try and get my left and my right hand working together. This is where the tough part comes in piano. I feel like as a beginner piano player, right hand isn't that hard. After a while, you practice, it's not that bad. Left hand is not that hard, but when you first, I don't know what happens in the brain, but when you start doing left hand and right hand together, there's so many difficulties that arise. I just feel like my brain, fizzles out. I just can't handle it sometimes. So let's see what happens. I'm going to try my left and my right hand together, and we'll, hopefully it works. If not, well then I'll just keep practicing. So 1 and 2 and 3 and, okay, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and okay. Hey, slowly, some of these things are coming together well, which is nice. So, hey, anime lovers, what's up? How's it going? Thank you for saying hi. I say hi back. Hope you're having a good day. Just doing some piano practice. So, let's see here. 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 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 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. two, and one, one, and one, and two, and three, and four, 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 and one, and two, and three, and two. Okay. Whew. Hey, I'm getting there. I'm getting there with some practice. I don't feel all that bad. Some of the songs I've tried, it almost feels like impossible the first go around. But I think because I tried enough practice with my right hand and got that down, that I feel a lot more comfortable with this. So the left and the right are coming together, and I'm having a lot of fun, actually. This is a blast, and I know it sounds weird to mess up so much and have fun, but I think that's just part of the experience. Like when you go into learning an instrument, you can't just go in and say, I'm going to be a master the first week. I'm not going to make any mistakes, because then you're going to set, faulty expectations for yourself in learning an instrument. And so I go into learning an instrument telling myself I'm going to make mistakes. And then my expectations, I feel good because I'm like, okay, I actually did something significant today. I actually feel good about it. Like even if I made 1,000 mistakes, doing 5 good things is powerful, and it has an effect on my emotions. It makes me happy. So I'm just super thankful that I can even, get better and better and better at something that I was really awful at this morning. I mean, this is my first day practicing this song, so let's keep going, okay? 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 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 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 3 and 4 and 1. Okay. Whew, this is a little tough, I'm going to keep practicing through this, but it's not super fast, of course. When you practice, you need to make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, you can correct those mistakes. And so I'm just going to keep going through this and see how it goes, okay? Okay, let's try this one more time from the top. Let's do this. 3 and... Give me 1 second. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, this is the part. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 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 and 2 and 3 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, so what I need to do as I go down and down and down in the song, by the way, it's called Kumbaya, if you've ever heard of it. It says it's an African folk hymn, okay? And Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. It's actually a nice song. So it starts out, as I go down the page, it gets lower and lower and lower and lower to the end. So that's where I'm kind of struggling. The first half isn't too bad, but as it goes down and down and down and down and down and down and down, it lowers the notes as well, which means I have to shift my hands a little bit. And so that's just what I'm working on right now. That's why, it sounds a little plagued with mistakes, but, we're having fun, so. Let's see here. So I'm going to start from the top again. So 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 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 2 and okay, 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so as I just mentioned, like every time I get to the second half of this song, it goes down and down and down and down and down. So my pattern at the beginning, there's a pattern. It's 1 and 2 and 3. So it just keeps going steady, consistent, steady, consistent. And then once it gets to the second half of the song, it starts going down and down and down and down until you finish the song, and then it goes back up at the beginning. And so that's where I'm trying to get down. So I'm going to actually just focus on, for the next couple minutes, I'm just going to focus on the second half of this. So let's see here. Left hand right there. Okay, so that is let's do this. That's a D. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Okay. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, you guys, I am having so much fun, but I do have a life. I have a family, I have a wife, I have kids, and I have work to do. So until I become a virtuoso, a piano expert, and this becomes my entire life. I got to go to work. I got to spend time with my family. So other than that, it was good seeing you guys. Thank you so much for the encouragement. It's been so much fun. A lot of you guys were with me for maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe the whole hour. Like, so amazing. That you guys would even show up for this. I'll probably be back tomorrow, maybe about the same time, but feel free to like and subscribe if you want, and then you could find out, whenever I'm doing live sessions, and you can check out my daily progress. So other than that, this is Sawyer. My name is Sawyer, by the way. Have a good one, y'all. I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow, okay? Have a good one.